cars have come to be an integral part of our life. A world without cars is beyond a reality that we can grasp. How did they evolve from early steam-powered vehicles to the sophisticated electric vehicles we drive today? And are they truly a green and sustainable solution? Nicolas Joseph Cugnot's steam-powered Fardier, a Vapeur, was the first self-propelled vehicle in the world. He was tasked with creating the first steam engine, which powered a piston within a cylinder by steam at a pressure greater than that of the atmosphere. In 1770, the machine was displayed in France towing a 5-ton artillery cannon. Even though the vehicle was slow and sluggish, it created the stepping stone for advancements in automotive engineering. The late 19th century saw the birth of the next significant milestone in automobiles with the introduction of gasoline-powered cars. Carl Benz submitted a patent application on January 29, 1886 for his vehicle powered by a gasoline engine. These cars were more efficient, reliable, and quicker than the steam-powered cars. Henry Ford was one of the most significant individuals in the early automobile business. Ford invented the assembly line, which completely changed the way automobiles were built. Ford was able to make automobiles considerably faster and more effectively than his rivals thanks to the assembly line. The Model T, which Ford unveiled in 1908, was the first car that was genuinely affordable. The Model T was a straightforward, dependable vehicle that was ideal for the typical family. The mid-20th century was seen as the height of the automobile. During the industry's heyday, American automakers controlled the market. Popular automobiles that represented the American dream were the Pontiac GTO, Ford Thunderbird, and Chevrolet Bel Air. Foreign automakers started to increase their market share in the United States in the late 1960s and early 1970s. Particularly prosperous were Japanese and German automakers, who provided vehicles that were more dependable and economical than many American vehicles. The further developments in the automobile industry have led to the birth of electric vehicles, or EVs. While EVs are considered and is the poster child of green and sustainable development, but are they truly the green solution? The initial environment footprint of current EV production is much greater than that of the internal combustion gasoline-powered vehicles. The batteries that are implemented in an EV is a lithium-ion battery. One of the components, like the name suggests, is lithium, and like any raw material, must be mined. The mining process of lithium generates incredibly large volumes of greenhouse gases. It's a problem that's only going to grow unless the manufacturing process is made more efficient. Sales of EV topped 1 million in a year for the first time in 2017. Some predict the growth to reach a point of about 125 million in a year by 2030, and those vehicles are going to need batteries. Needless to say, lithium has high demand, and it all must come from somewhere. It takes on average about 8-10 metric tons of CO2 to produce an electric vehicle. Obviously, the bigger the battery, the more CO2 it requires to produce it. Some smaller-sized batteries in economy-sized EVs may take as few as 2 metric tons to produce, while the larger EVs with long-range batteries may be responsible for up to 17 metric tons of CO2. Conversely, for an internal combustion engine vehicle, it's responsible for only up to 7 metric tons of CO2. More than half of the world's lithium supply comes from the Lithium Triangle, an area between Chile, Bolivia, and Argentina. In the arid salt plains of the Atacama Desert, high up in the Andes Mountains, workers drill through the crust of the salt to reach to the mineral-rich brine below the surface. This process leaches massive amounts of groundwater from the surrounding area, resulting in a decreased water supply and less accessible water for local agriculture. In a region in Chile called Salar de Atacama, mining companies have used 65% of the region's water. It takes 750 tons of brine to produce just 1 ton of lithium. But lithium is just one of the components of the battery. It's a much smaller percentage than you think too, at around only 6%. A growing concern surrounds the sourcing of another element used in batteries, cobalt. But the issue is more of an ethical dilemma rather than an environmental concern, as some cobalt mines implement child labor, which is reprehensible. The sourcing of materials for EV batteries raises ethical dilemmas, particularly regarding cobalt. Some cobalt mines employ child labor, highlighting the human cost of our pursuit of green technology. While the lifespan of EV batteries is relatively long, recycling them poses significant challenges. Storage of old batteries is a safety concern due to their volatile nature, and incidents of fires in recycling facilities underscore the need for safer disposal methods. In conclusion, EVs are not a perfect solution. There are several environmental and economic concerns that need to be addressed before EVs can be considered a truly green and sustainable solution. We need to invest in more research and development to improve the environmental performance of EVs and to make them more affordable.